And it would be false humility for us to say that, no, wala akong talent, wala akong gift, walang binigay ng Panginoon sa akin. That is false humility. Why? Because to each one of us, the Lord has given favors, given gifts. To shelter oneself in one's weakness, and to say no to the Lord. Mahina ako, hindi kaya, no, Lord, hindi mo na ako, iba na lang. This is not humility. This might even be pride. Why? Because we might think that, well, the Lord is choosing me because of my qualities. No, wala akong qualities. The Lord wants to count on us, because He has wanted to. Because He has chosen to do so. Not because we are better than others, not because we have special gifts that we have attained on our own. And to say yes is humility. To say yes to the Lord means to say yes to His will and to the grace that we know He will give us. He will be the one to give us strength. If we are assigned by our bishop, can you carry this out? Can you do this? I cannot. Bishop, hindi ko kaya. But with God's grace, everything is grace, as St. Paul would tell us. It is Christ who fills the nets. The fisherman is only an instrument. Tagatapon lang tayo ng net. Sino maglalagay ng isda doon? Ako tawag ni Bishop. So it is Christ who fills the net. Tagatapon lang tayo. May isda, may wala. Pag walang isda, walang problema. Walang isda. Bishop, walang isda. Potensya na. Hindi naman ibig sabihin tuwing tapon natin may isda. And sometimes, there are times when we want to do good and we try not to make it known. But sometimes we cannot escape, we cannot avoid. Just like Jesus. When the lepers came to Jesus, a leper came to Him, begging Him and He said to him, "If you choose, you can make me clean." Moved with pity, Jesus stretched out His hand and touched him and said to him, "I do choose, be made clean," etc., etc. And Jesus told him, "See that you say nothing to anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer for your cleansing what Moses commanded as a testimony to them." Minsan ganun din tayo. We want to do good and we know that everything is by God's grace and we don't want people to praise us. We don't want people to look at us, to be centered on us. We don't want people to even to acclaim us, to praise us. But in some cases, we cannot avoid. Just like Jesus, sinabihan niya, "Tahimik ka na ako." Sabihan, "Don't tell anyone that I made you clean." After that, ayan, pinagchismis na ng leper. Sinabi niya na sa lahat. But still, we need to we thank the Lord, but still, that is not an excuse. Sabihin natin, ayaw ko malaman na gumagawa ako ng mabuti. That's not an excuse. Pag nalaman nila, gumagawa tayo ng mabuti, ganun talaga. For we cannot hide a lamp on a mountain. We cannot hide it under the bed, under the table, so that it would be Christ's light that would shine forth. Our living for the glory of God is to make Christ's light shine forth. Parang ano ito, parang bumbilya. Di ba yung bumbilya, kung low wattage, kung may 10 watts pa na bumbilya, or 10 watts, 10 watts na yung bumbilya, o kahit 20 watts, 25 watts, pag tinignan mo yung bumbilya, kitang-kita mo, nandun yung glass, nandun yung tatak, Philips, o kung ano man, nandun yung filament, nandun yung wires, kitang-kita. Kasi, mahina siya. Pag malakas yung bumbilya, yung mercury lamp, doon sa basketball court, sa gym, or sa tennis court, pag tinignan mo yung lamp, baka masira ang mata mo. Hindi mo makita yung lamp. Kita mo ilaw lang. Ilaw. Hindi mo makita yung hugis ng mercury lamp. Minsan kahit yung reflector niya, hindi mo makita. Yung poste, halos mo lang makita. Because the light is so strong. Living for the glory of God also is something similar. When people see us, when people see what to do, hopefully they would see God. and not ourselves. Hopefully, we could hide and disappear, just like St. John the Baptist, so that all the glory is given to the Lord. And this we also learn from the Blessed Virgin Mary. The Blessed Virgin Mary, who suffered silently, who served the Lord. She was there with the other women, following the Lord in His public ministry. And of course, in the hidden life of Jesus, the Blessed Virgin Mary was there with Him, raising Him, educating Him, humanly speaking, teaching Him the prayers of the prayers that any Jewish boy would learn at this time, making friends with others. And so on. The Blessed Virgin Mary lived for the glory of God. At the moment of death, still following the line of the Holy Thursday letter, at the moment of death, Jesus gives His own mother to this disciple John, and John took her to his own home. He took her as the first witness to the mystery of the Incarnation. And so by taking to his own home the mother who stood beneath her son's cross, he also made his own all that was within her in Golgotha. Okay, so John also received not only the Blessed Virgin Mary, of course, pinapali niya sa Blessed Virgin Mary, saying nagkalawa si Mary, and then he would take her to his home with other people. But not only Mary, but everything that was within her on Golgotha, within the heart of Mary. All her treasures, all her concerns, was there, also received by St. John. The fact that she suffered grievously with her only begotten Son, uniting herself with a maternal heart in His sacrifice, and lovingly consenting to the immolation of this victim that she herself had brought forth. All this, the superhuman experience of the sacrifice of our redemption, inscribed in the heart of Christ, the Redeemer's own mother, was entrusted to the man who in the upper room received the power to make the sacrifice present through the priestly ministry of the Eucharist. So tayo, just like St. John, at the foot of the cross, we are also at the foot of the cross when we celebrate the Mass. And we receive Mary into our lives. In a sense, the Eucharist, and just like the Rosary is a very Christological, Christocentric devotion, the Eucharist is also a very Marian devotion. The Eucharist is a very Marian devotion. Why? Because intimately united with Jesus, on Golgotha is His mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary. And of course, also in the resurrection, when we think of the Eucharist as a sacrifice, we always take it in the context of the Paschal mystery, Passion, Death, and Resurrection of our Lord, and of course His full life. Also in the resurrection of Jesus, bakit daw, sabi ni, bakit daw unang sinabihan ni Jesus mga babae after His resurrection? Bakit sinabihan niya mga babae? Oh, go tell the apostles. Pangalan. Malaman ka agad yung good news. Of course, again, we have nothing against women. But sabi naman ng ibang saints, I think si St. Thomas, before siya nagpakita sa mga women na nandun sa Gospel, bakit wala si Mary? Bakit hindi tumakbo si Mary sa womb? The Blessed Virgin Mary, hindi siya tumakbo sa tomb. Because most probably, nagpakita na sa kanya si Jesus. Yan yung parang idea. Even sa salubong, diba? Nagpakita, nag-meet sila, even before showing Himself to the other disciples and to the apostles. And Mary, who kept everything in her heart, who understood the mission of her Son, she was also awaiting the resurrection of Jesus. Okay, ibang disciples walang ka-idea. Si Mary, on the other hand, knowing the mystery of this incarnation, why Jesus became flesh. So magkasama actually yung incarnation at saka yung passion, death, and resurrection.